You may be seated.
We're going to do quick introductions. My name is Kyle Sears. I'm a student here at Indiana University. I'm studying criminal justice. I'm also a non-commissioned officer in the U.S. military.
I'm Michaela Bauman. I'm also a criminal justice student here. I'm also in the military, but I'm going a different route, and I'm doing the ROTC program to commission as an officer.
I'm Becky Buchanan. I'm an attorney in Munster, Indiana, and I have my own business. It's a medical legal consulting firm.
May we introduce ourselves?
Yes.
Good morning, my name is Austin Isa. I'm an 8th grader.
My name is Marissa Velasquez and I'm in 7th grade.
My name is Xander Gorst and I am also in the 7th grade.
My name is Sheldon Lewis and I'm in 7th grade.
My name is Josh Velasquez and I'm an 8th grader.
My name is Osinigo Becky and I'm also in 8th grade.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. We're going to have a question for you, one main question, and then 3 sub-questions to that, and then as well as 3 follow-up questions. First question is, the First Amendment states that laws shall not be passed that abridge freedom of speech. Why did the founders think freedom of speech was so important? Do you believe that there are times when freedom of expression should be limited? Explain your response. Should a public speaker who calls for violent action be protected by the First Amendment, whereas an audience member who performs the same action can be sent to prison? Why or why not?
In the 1700s in England, people did not have the freedom of speech. If anyone said anything against the king or his rules, they would be arrested and placed in jail. The founders thought freedom of speech was important when assembling the new government. The people were to be active participants in government affairs. They needed to be able to express their thoughts and beliefs. They also thought it important to have individual development, advancement of knowledge, and peaceful social change. A human's dignity depends on being able to share his ideas as well as hearing others' points of view. Hearing others' beliefs can lead to a better understanding and knowledge.
In the 1734 Zenger case, a newspaper team was writing articles on the misdeeds of a governor. They did not state their names, but John Peter Zenger was a printer. Zenger was arrested and brought to court, but the articles of the article got made brilliant lawyer, Andrew Hamilton. Hamilton argued, although possibly offensive, the articles were true and it was completely fine. The grand jury decision was Zenger was not guilty.
There should be some limits on freedom of expression. For example, you cannot yell fire in a movie theater because it endangers the lives of other people. Another example is Hazelwood School District versus Schoolmeyer. The principal removed 2 articles from the school newspaper. One was on teen pregnancy and the principal thought the content was not appropriate for the younger students. The other one was about a student's dad who divorced his wife and how he was wrong. The Supreme Court ruled that these principal's actions did not violate the student's freedom of speech. The school had a reasonable intention for removing the articles.
Another example is the court case Person v. Freeman that restricted freedom of speech. Freeman challenged a Tennessee law stating that all display or distribution of campaign material was restricted when within 100 feet of entrances to polling stations. The Supreme Court declared this law constitutional as it protected the citizens' rights to vote freely and did not completely block freedom of speech.
A public speaker who calls for violent action should not be protected by the First Amendment. That person influenced others to commit crime or put others in danger. He gave them the ideas that they may not have thought of on their own. You cannot say go assassinate the president or yell bomb at the airport without there being consequences. They need to be stopped before it influences people to do something evil that can harm someone. By encouraging others to commit a crime, they are just as guilty. Also, by encouraging violence, they are endangering people and their safety. A person's freedom of expression should be limited if it affects someone else's rights.
On the other side of this argument, the audience member had the choice to follow the speaker and is the one responsible for committing the act. For example, in the court case Brandenburg versus Ohio, a leader of the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacy organization, was arrested for violating an Ohio law stating that it is against the law to call others to violence. The U.S. Supreme Court overruled the law and Brandenburg was not arrested. Their reason was that there was no clear and present danger when he tried to call others to harm blacks. Also, in another case, Tinker versus Des Moines, some students decided to wear black armbands with peace signs on them to protest the U.S. being in the Vietnam War. The principal of the school suspended these students until they would take off the armbands, and then they could return to school. The ruling by the Supreme Court was that the students can wear the peace sign armbands in school because there was no clear and present danger. Therefore, you can say what you want or do what you want and not go to jail as long as you do not endanger or harm others. Thank you.
Good job.
We have some follow-up questions. The French philosopher Voltaire said he might not agree with what you were saying, but he would defend to the death your right to say it. Do you agree with the philosopher?
I would agree with what this philosopher said because this is stated in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights actually, and they say that it is your freedom of speech, so I believe that he's right in saying that it should be defended no matter what, because it is our Bill of Rights and is guaranteed to us by Congress.
I agree with Austin because that principle is what this country is based on. That you have the right to have a different opinion from everybody else, and that opinion should be protected.
I disagree with my teammates because I believe you do have a right to say freedom of speech, but there must be some limitations on them. Because you can't write maybe you're upset with the decision that Mayor Buchanan made, and you write a nasty letter or you protested outside his house and say, I'm going to kill you. You can't say that because that is harming and showing clear present danger.
I would have to disagree with my teammate. Well, I agree with her, but there is consequences, like he said. If you yell bomb in an airport or fire in a movie theater, there will be consequences, and there should be. So therefore, I disagree.
Okay.
Another question. Should it be lawful to put information on the internet about how to make a bomb? Why or why not?
I do not think that it should be allowed to put information on the internet on how to create a bomb, because once it is on the internet, then, like they say, it can never be taken off because of all the technology that we have nowadays. And also, bombs are not guaranteed in the Second Amendment. The right to bear arms is really the right to own guns, not bombs. And if everyone has a bomb, then everyone would be afraid of getting hurt, and that also causes clear and present danger because then everyone has information on how to create a bomb and they have access to it at any time.
I agree with Austin because putting information about how to make a bomb on the internet would have everybody in everybody in paranoia, because then they'd all be worried about, oh, am I gonna get bombed tomorrow? Like you never know, and everybody would always be confused, and everybody would be in a state of chaos.
I agree with my teammates here that if you post about how to make a bomb, it's not gonna be good because first of all, the internet's World Wide Web, and that means everyone's gonna see it anywhere, and you cannot erase it when it's posted on. Also, there's nothing good about making a bomb. It's always a negative. It doesn't make stuff; it just destroys stuff. And even though it says right to bear arms in the Second Amendment, we have a lot of shootouts in America, and adding bombs to it will not make it better. I watched a video about the DC killer in 2009, I believe, and it said that this guy was shooting these people because of target practice, and he thought it was funny. And I think this could happen with the same thing with the bombs, that they could use it for target practice, so they know how to use it, but I think it's wrong.
All right, thank you. I have another last follow-up question. Should expression that is offensive to some students be restricted by speech codes? Should speech codes be subject to the limitations of the First Amendment? Or should schools and colleges be allowed to limit expression as they see fit? Why or why not?
Schools and colleges should be allowed to limit free expression as they feel is right, because sometimes students can bully other students by saying or expressing what they think is correct. An example is religion. Sometimes people try to force religion down to other people, and then sometimes they try to force only their thoughts and they will not accept other thoughts. So I do think that it is right and just for speech codes to stop people from harming others in schools.
I agree with my teammate, but in this situation, I think that it's actually very important because you have young kids in schools who are easily impressionable, and saying something that could harm them could easily lead to them being, sometimes in cases, suicidal, which is obviously not good. And Like I said, when you have these kids at such a young, impressionable age, you should not be able to just say anything you want around them, because that could influence what they think in the future and even how they think at that age.
I agree with Austin and Xander because what you say in one person can affect them in a negative way. And since there needs to be a balance between your rights and other people's rights, I feel like it should be limited, but they shouldn't infringe on the person that's being limited too much.
I would have to agree with them because the younger kids at our school, they look up to us. Anything we say, and they repeat or think that we're cool and do what we want. So I think that it should not, there should be limits on freedom.
Thank you.
Great job.
Great job, guys. We really appreciate you coming and coming out here, parents as well. You guys look definitely very professional, very formal. You're not enough for the both of us.
Very impressive.
I like the eye contact as well.
Excellent eye contact, excellent comprehension and application of the subject matter. And I think that hearing you talk, your school has wonderful source of leaders who understand freedom of expression and listening to other people and personal and professional growth.
And great use of sources and examples. That's really great.
Thank you.